Well, I just felt like, there might be someone out there listening that is like, trying to make changes and wanting to. And I just wanted to add that, there have been times in my life where I just had to step away from situations and step away from people. And, it's almost like an addiction sometimes where it's a little difficult. At least we might create that in our minds that it isn't. And sometimes there are people in their life that, we're dealing with and we think we can't get away with it. But I swear to you, sometimes you have to just take a break and let those people go. And I have found as that has happened, it has allowed me to heal myself and process. And over time, over the years, and, I'll mention Facebook, it's really interesting. I've done some healing, done some work, try to be better and better, make progress every day, every week, to try to be better. It's really cool now that there is a tool like Facebook, because as I've progressed and I've moved away from some situations and people that just weren't healthy, those people have changed. And those people have carried on their path, and they've done some healing. And every so often I know when it's okay for someone to come back into my life because, I hear from them or something happens. And sometimes in this past year it's been through Facebook. And it's not about getting back with someone that's been an abuser or getting back in a negative situation that's not healthy for me. Sometimes these people have changed. It's been like I've prayed for them, they prayed for me, the whole thing. And sometimes there can be, those people can come back, and it's okay now because I've changed and they've done some changing too. And it's wonderful to go through that and reunite and leave the abuse and the negativity and the situations and the things that weren't good for us behind, and really meet again and forge and create a whole new relationship that is really valuable, that is precious, and it's wonderful. So it's great to be able to get out of those situations just to heal, and then not to go back to those situations, but meet people again on a completely different level and let them come into your life. You're back in their life, and explore the possibilities, and then share some things together. I've been very, very fortunate to experience that, and I hope other people can too.
I'm glad you brought that up, because absolutely, and I've had the same experience as well, where I've had to leave relationships because they were not healthy and nothing I was doing was making a difference. Mm-hmm. And then through the separation, and sometimes because of the separation, that was kind of a wake-up call for people who truly cared and were unconsciously engaging in unhealthy behaviors. And they had to do some soul searching, and I too had to do healing and change so that I drew better boundaries, and I interacted and recreated the relationship when we did come back together as with a healthy base. And so we all had done enough of our own healing and wanted to connect enough from a place of love that we were able to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's an incredible experience. And so sometimes there's deep sadness about leaving a relationship, but you feel like there's nothing else you can do. Yeah. And then it turns out to really be a good thing. I think it's important to remember we're always at the beginning or the middle of something, because in every ending there's a beginning. And so sometimes the ending is essential for a new beginning, and it's never over. That ending sometimes it is, but it doesn't have to be. It creates an opportunity for a new beginning if both people are able to come to a new place in their lives where you can then come together. And like you say, it's intuitive. It's a knowingness that it's time. Sometimes circumstances will bring you back together. Maybe a death in the family, if it's a family member, will then create an opportunity for reconnection. And you test the waters. Is this working? And you pay attention. Because if it's not, there may need to be a separation again. It's always paying attention and keeping that third eye, that observer eye, out and never, well, at some point you can just give yourself over, because you can totally trust that person and you know they're trustworthy. But it's good initially to be tentative and not to just fall back into a totally trusting situation where you can get slammed again. You know, you pay attention and you observe, is this really what I think it is? And you look for signs. And you also call people on behavior. You keep your boundaries and you don't let things go. You talk about things and see if they're responsive this time and able to really hear you and respond from a caring, loving position. And then one can then gradually come to a place of total trust where you know you've got a healthy, positive relationship.